In this video, we're going to add the spinner effect to the getTrips function in the trips page, and then we're going to do the same thing in all the other Ajax calls in this page. So first of all, we're going to show the spinner. Okay. So we're going to use the same code we used earlier. So first of all, to show the spinner, we're going to use that bit. Okay. When we load the code, there are no results to hide. Okay, because the page is going to load from scratch. So we're not going to use that bit. Now, when we get a response from the server, then we're going to hide the spinner. And once we change the HTML content of our trips, then we're going to show the trips using some animation. So let's use the fading animation. Like this. Now let's save our code and try it. So you can see the spinner appearing there, but we don't see the fade in effects. So let's hide the element before using the fade in method. And let's do the same thing right there. So let's save and try again. Okay, so that looks better. All right. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing to all the other Ajax calls. So we've got this form here for adding a trip. So let's look for code for creating a new trip. Okay, so that's where we submit the form. Well, actually, we submit it right there. Okay, so when we submit the form, we're going to show the spinner. And also hide the results or the error message. So the error message has got an ID, which is add trip message. All right, so now we show the spinner. We've hidden the message, and once we get a response from the server, okay, we're going to hide the spinner. Okay, we only need it there as we're going to be showing a message. We are not going to need it here, okay, because we're going to hide the module anyway. All right, and we need it there as well. Okay, now we've hidden the spinner. Now we need to have some animation for the message. Okay, so we're going to use the slide down method again. So once we set the HTML contents of the message, we will use the slide down method. Going to do it there and there as well. So let's save and try our code. Okay, so you can see the spinner and you can see the animation. Perfect. All right, so now let's do the same thing with the edits form. So let's copy this code for hiding the spinner. or let's start with showing the spinner and hiding the results message or the error message. So let's look for code submitting an edit form. Okay, it's right there. So once we submit the form, we are going to show the spinner and then hide the results message. And this is the ID of the message. Okay. So actually we don't need to empty it once we've hidden it. Okay. So I'm just going to take this out for now. I'm going to keep it just in case. Okay. We're going to test the code and see how it goes. Now let's see where we're going to get a response from the server. So we're actually calling this function, which is defined right there. And the response will be received right there. So now, once we get a response, we're going to hide the spinner. Okay, I'm going to do it there as well. That's the success case and that's the error case. Okay, so now we've hidden our spinner. Now, once we change the HTML content of the error message, we're going to show the message using some animation, a slide down animation again. And we're going to do the same thing right there. Okay, so now let's save. Let's try our code. You can see the spinner. Okay, so the edit was successful. Okay, that's why we can see this page. Now let's try something and just submit something incorrect. And we can see the error message there. You could see the spinner appearing before. All right, so now let's move to the delete process and do exactly the same. So now you must be familiar with this. I'm going to do it quickly. So the delete process is right there. Okay. So once we click on the button, we're going to show the spinner. And hide any error messages. So the error message is the edit trip message. And once we get a response from the server, then we're going to hide the spinner. Okay, I'm going to do it there and there as well. And also we are going to add some animation to show the error message once we change its HTML content. And again, we're going to use the slide down method. All right. Okay, so let's save this. Let's try our code. So if I click on the delete button, here we go. So you could see the spinner appearing first before showing the trips message or the trips page again. All right. Okay, so just one comment. We're going to place the statements hiding the spinner right at the beginning of the success function, just to make sure that it gets hidden straight away. Okay, because that's where we get the response from the server. So we're going to hide the spinner straight away, and the same thing applies there. Okay, so whenever we have a success function, we're going to make sure that we hide the spinner right after. So let's just make sure that we did the same thing in all the other cases. So I'm going to change that as well. I'm going to do it straight after, straight at the beginning of the function. Okay. There as well. Okay, we don't need it. We don't need to do it there. Okay, because that's to get the details of the trip that we would like to edit. And we've done it there. Okay, so it all looks good. All right, so now let's save. All right, now we managed to finish all the functionalities of our website, including looking for trips, adding trips, editing trips, deleting them, and so on. In the next video, we're just going to add some final touches to our website, and then our project is going to be complete.